My name is Clara. I'm here at the Youth on Record Summer Block Party, here with Xavier. Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, what's good? My name is Xavier Gauthier, aka Key, and I'm a producer, rapper, writer, singer, songwriter, based out of Denver, Colorado. Originally from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, born and raised, 225, what's up? But yeah, been in Denver for like a decade now. CEO and director of communications for a local art collective called Black Kosher. Fellow here at Youth on Record, man of many hats, for sure. So
That's awesome. Yeah, if you were a plant, what would you be?
Oh, that's such a good question. I lived in the Virgin Islands for like 2 years, and ever since I came back to Colorado, don't get me wrong, I love Colorado, but I miss being on the island for sure. So I would probably say like a palm tree or like a coconut tree, just something that like thrives in like humid, hot weather, because that's like super my element, just like being like moisturized and not having to worry about lotion.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Especially in Colorado.
Yeah, exactly. So, definitely just like anywhere that like a palm would thrive, really. I feel like that's really like my element. And I like standing overlooking and like being an observer, watching
Love
everything.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think is the connection between music and art and mental health?
So many. I would say like your mental definitely impacts your art, and your art definitely impacts your mental, like 100%. It's definitely not an either or. It's a both pull into each other kind of thing. So I know like for sure, like when I was going through a really hard time, like all I was making was sad boy music. Like girls were breaking my heart left and right, and all I could write was like heartbreaking music. But as soon as, like for lack of better terms, got my swag back, like my music became very boisterous. It became very unapologetic. It became very loud. It became very me. So I definitely think that both play a vital role into each other. And I think also like it's really important to make the music that you want to make at the end of the day, right? Like if you're making music for other people, it's going to it's going to impact your mental health. And if, you're making all this great music, but, your mental health is not in the best spot, you're not going to perform the best way that you can. You're not going to record the best way that you can. If you're in a band and you play an instrument, you're not going to play the best way that you can. So they both definitely have like a synergy between them. And I think it's important to take care of both.
What makes you content?
Honestly, just like being in community. Like for me, I'm a really big like energy person. So being able to just be around the bros, be around my homegirls, be around like family, even like the community like Youth on Record, just sharing space with other artists, going to open mic, sharing space with other artists. That is what kind of really brings me contentness. Yeah, it brings me peace, for sure. Just being able to be like as creative as possible and being able to be the most free version of myself that I can be. I usually find that I can be that in those kinds of spaces. So definitely like those kinds of places. And then also just like sometimes when I'm alone, it's like going to a park, by myself, enjoying nature. So yeah.
So what does self-care look like to you?
For me, it's a multitude of things. So like I said, being in community with people, like making sure that I am taking care of my social life. If I don't have a social life, my mental health can take like a pretty steep decline. But also things like meditation, eating more than one meal a day will really do that for me. But yeah, really like small things like meditation, like being able to eat, drinking my water, going to the gym on a regular basis, things like that. Because I noticed that when I do get off regimen from those kinds of things, like that's when things start to get a little bit worse for me, or the world starts to feel a little bit heavier from time to time. So definitely like just taking care of my body, my mind, and my soul.
Yeah. So last question. Mm-hmm. How has your relationship with mental health evolved as you've gotten older?
It's definitely been something that I've explored more as I've gotten older. I'm going to actually be turning 25 in like 2 weeks. And there's this thing that people say, they're like, oh, like when you turn 25, like everything changes. And it's like, whatever. Like you're just, you're yanking my chain. No, they're so serious. Like you really start to feel it. You start to feel that frontal lobe development really happen.
Oh, yeah.
As I've gotten older and as I've gotten closer to like being 25, I've definitely felt myself feel more of a need to take care of it. Like back when I was in high school and, like I knew I was dealing with depression, anxiety and all these other things. I was definitely just like, I'll just put it on the back burner, like I'll just get over it. Like it'll just take some time. And it led me into some situations where my mental health definitely like took over, and I wasn't in control of my emotions and my emotions were in control of me. And I realized, this probably isn't healthy, especially like as a growing young man in America. So, for me, I was like, I really need to take initiative about this. Like, I need to talk to a therapist. I need to talk to my friends, talk to people who are around me about what's going on in my life. And that's really been helpful, just being able to vent and just to talk about what's going on. Not even always looking for a solution, sometimes just, or advice, just looking to get whatever I've been holding in out, has been really helpful. So definitely the older that I've gotten, the more I've taken care of it. So like at 18, I would say I took care of it at like 10%. I started meditating, but not really. I was just doing it to look cool. But then like as I've gotten older, like by the time I was 20, I was really taking care of my meditation, like really doing what I needed to do. By the time I turned 22, definitely like got more in a groove of taking care of things that I needed to take care of, learned a lot more about my own traumas and my own truths. And then, like I said, coming into 24, going into 25, that's a really big part of my like mental right now, right? And a really big part of my focus is making sure that my mental health is taken care of, just so that I know everything else that I need to do, all these different hats that I'm wearing, like I said before, they can be worn without there being stress underneath it. So.
Right, without having to compromise one or the other.
Exactly, yeah. So definitely just, I definitely feel like the older that you get, the more aware of it you become. And it's really just about whether or not you take the initiative to handle that and take care of that yourself and like, make sure that you are good because you know yourself best. You know yourself better than anybody else does at the end of the day. Or if you're going to allow yourself to, I don't want to say succumb because that sounds like such a messed up word to use, but kind of succumb to the mental faults and the anxieties and all these things that may cross your mind. So definitely the older that you get, I feel like the more a bigger piece of your life it becomes.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for talking with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
We're so excited to see you perform.
Thank you. Excited to be here.